you told me that, just through some powerful things that you did, it disappeared pretty much. But has that been confirmed by medical community, doctors or anything? Did they say, hey, Jordan, we don't see any sign of anything anymore? Tell me about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's funny because growing up, both of my parents were doctors. So I really came from that conventional medical establishment and sort of thought this is just the way it is, pharmaceuticals, etc. But all these different appointments with these doctors my whole life, it was amazing how none of them asked me what I was eating. And no one asked me about inflammation or potential food allergies. It was just a conversation about this drug didn't work, let's try this drug. And I tried all the drugs and they made me worse. And they came with a lot of side effects. And I would be in and out of the hospital a lot of my 20s. That's how I spent my days. It's dark, it's grueling. And but I just sort of thought there was just this feeling. I know on a spiritual level that it is my higher self that was really communicating with me. But I had a colonoscopy about 90 days after I started this whole journey, and the disease was completely eradicated. And the doctor's first reaction was not, hey, what have you done? Let me impart this wisdom on my other patients. It was, oh, it must be the new drug that you're on. And I had to say, well, I've been taking it for 3 months. And by the way, this is a doctor that told me that when I was having a flare-up with my disease, I should eat white Wonder Bread. That's where they're at in the medical community. Yeah. I mean, I think about that now, and it's like, man, how horrifying is that? And, I'll bifurcate it like this. I'll say it like this. The first half is the fact that the nonstick Teflon, the unfiltered water, the phthalates that are in our beauty products, these things have such a deleterious effect on our bodies, and we don't really know this stuff, and we assume that someone's looking out for us, but there's certain ingredients that are banned in Europe that are still in our beauty products. And that was one part of it, getting all that out, allowing zero chemicals in my house, everything from fragrances to deodorant. But the second part of this, and what I've really learned the past actually few months, is in manifestation, when we talk about manifestation, you're actually not manifesting anything. Everything exists in infinite states of reality. And what you're really doing is actually shifting your awareness, right? We're the observer of our thoughts. You're shifting your awareness to a different state of being, and that's how you move into the new reality. Manifesting sort of assumes like there's something external that you have to attract to you. But the idea behind it is, from a 5D consciousness perspective, if you constantly identify as someone who's healing, the universe can only reflect your energy back to you. So if you are someone who says, oh, I'm a sick person, I'm healing all the time, you're going to get that energy reflected to you. But the way the placebo effects and all these different things work is largely because your mind is so powerful. So what I did is I just shifted my awareness and my state of being to a person that was healed or no longer was sick. And the way I was able to do that was my friend also had ulcerative colitis, and he also cured it naturally. So I saw him, and then I said, well, why don't I just mimic him? And I have zero disease. I have no return of disease. I was a very sick person. I couldn't travel. I do nothing now. I just no longer identify with that. And that's why a lot of people, when they get sick with an initial diagnosis, their disease gets really bad in the beginning because they're in it, right? They're talking about it with their friends. They're on the forums. That's their state of being. I'm a sick person who's getting sicker. And that's the work of Joe Dispenza, is largely you're getting into the theta brain state, and you're moving out of it. But what he's actually making you do through affirmations and all this stuff is shift your state of being. So that's largely what I think I did.